called the Laplace transform. And you know, I always like to start off with giving you some intuition about what's going on. So the intuition for this, it's pretty easy. There's none. There just isn't. When we get into very high level courses, I can start to give you some insight to what certain parts mean. But really, all that you need to know is that we're taking a function that have t's in it, a time domain function, and transforming that into something that just has s's and no t's. That's a 2. I didn't write that very clearly. So in other words, t somehow goes to s and the structure of the equation changes. And this is a bilateral transform. If you know that you've got something in the s domain that's 1 over s plus 2, that can only be represented by this e to the minus 2t u of t back in the time domain, and vice versa. And don't worry about what this s physically means. Questions about that? I'm telling you now that as we start to talk about the details of how we go from this equation into this, which is some crazy integral equation, it's easy to lose sight about why we're doing it. And why we're doing it is, just think of it about it that it's a necessary evil to get into this transform domain with s's so that we can easily multiply them together in inverse transform, because our only other alternative to solving this equation is to go from first principles and use differential equations, which would take forever.